and welcome back to my channel. So in today's video, I wanted to talk about ADHD and the good, the bad, the ugly that comes with having this disability. So firstly, I want to address what is ADHD. And basically, ADHD is attention deficit hyperactivity disorder. Millions of children, teens, and adults around the world have this disorder. So it's pretty common, but not a lot of people talk about it, which is something that I kind of want to address because as someone who has ADHD, I think it's pretty important to talk about this type of stuff. So second of all, I want to talk about symptoms. So one symptom is difficulty concentrating, which is something I experience on the daily. That could be in class, doing schoolwork. You could be working a regular job and it could be really hard to focus, and it's really not that fun. Another symptom is becoming disorganized. I have a lot of experience with this. So sometimes I forget to pack things in my book bag. I leave things a lot when I go out the door. I forget to plan things. I forget to budget. I'm very impulsive, which is another symptom. I think people with ADHD can relate to. I don't have money, but I like to spend it even though I don't have it. So there's that. Third, I would like to discuss my journey with ADHD. I was diagnosed with ADHD at 19 back in December of 2020. So this was fairly recent, and it was kind of a hurdle to get to this diagnosis. So basically what happened is that my mental health took a hit during COVID's kind of uprising, and I didn't do too well. And my ADHD got way, way worse. It was to the point where I couldn't concentrate on anything, barely anything. I was fidgeting a lot, I couldn't concentrate in conversation. It was just really, really tough for me, especially my senior year of high school. So we can all imagine how that probably was. Looking back, I feel like I started showing symptoms at the age of 6, 7, probably 7, because that's when I can mostly remember when I couldn't really concentrate or was too hyper. So I remember turning in homework really late at in the 2nd grade. I just could not turn in homework for the life of me. It was really hard to keep up with that. And I think I had to go to remediation because of it, because I knew the material, I just couldn't do the work, especially the homework. I struggled to pay attention in class a lot. So I would look off to the side. I wouldn't make direct contact with the teacher when she was speaking. I would look at the floor, I would look at my desk, I would look at little things like my pencil or my fingers, and I would just play with them. I'd also fidget in my chair, I'd move around a lot. I was very jittery, and I couldn't sit still at all. And another thing is that I was terrible at math, awful. I still am to this day, which is not good because I'm a biology major and I have to take pre-calc and calculus, but that's a whole nother different story for a whole nother video, because I'm not going to get into that. I have this tendency to talk very fast. I'm probably doing it right now. I'm really sorry if I am. I'm trying to like slow down my talking and just talk normally so you can hear me coherently and you can understand what I'm saying. But yeah, I remember like in high school, I would just talk and talk and talk very fast, even though like I would be really quiet and shy when other people were talking, but like when it was my turn to talk, I would go on and I would just rant, and it was just, honestly, I feel like I was so annoying. But you know, it is what it is. And I lost interest very quickly, so. High school was the worst. Probably one of the worst experiences of school I have to date in this memory, and I'm in college right now. So it was just a very hard time. I just didn't know who I was. I was a very lost little chick. I was just so freaking weird. Like, weird. You know? Like that girl who isn't really nerdy, but like is also really quiet, and like you just don't, I just didn't know what to do with myself, basically. I was stressed beyond anything. Like ADHD made school 1,000 times worse for stress. Like getting projects done, getting homework done, especially because I was in a lot of AP classes, it was just so awful. Like there were days where I would get like 4 hours of sleep. Thank God I'm not doing that right now. My sleep's a lot better, but I would be running on 3-4 hours of sleep. Ugh. So procrastination really kicked in high school. Like again, I would do assignments the day of, like during breakfast or during lunch. If I had a class after lunch, I would do it then. So not good at keeping up with due dates. Getting work done was very difficult. So moving on to college. So my mental health took a hit freshman year of college. Like, remember when I was talking about earlier in this video about how when COVID started, everything went to shit. It really truly did go to shit. So freshman year of college, I was in a freaking depression. I couldn't get up, I couldn't take care of myself, I couldn't shower, I couldn't do anything. I was just a I was just a sack of potatoes. I was truly a sack of potatoes. That's what I was. Not human, not a living, breathing thing. I was a sack of potatoes. And that's sad to say. Like, no joke to depression, but like, I was just not it. I was not at my best. It was a truly difficult time, and my grades suffered because of it. Let me tell you, when I got my first ever D, I freaking cried. Like, you have no idea. I cried. And I got my first F, and that's when I really started to go fucking crazy. Sorry, excuse my language. That's when I started to go really freaking crazy. Like, I just, no. And then, like, I tried to repeat a couple of classes summer, and that didn't go well. But thankfully, talked to my appeal committee at my college, and I got those classes withdrawn from, so that's good. It helped me a little bit. I think my grades struggled so much on top of my depression was that I really lost that whole, I guess, idea of structure. high school, you had a routine. You know, you went to school, you did work, you came back home, and you repeated that same routine the next day, Monday through Friday. You know, you had due dates and stuff like that. College is very different. You know, it's not a set structure where you have a certain amount of classes each day. You know, you have classes with hours in between, or you have a couple minutes in between. It really just depends on how you set up your schedule. And for me, I had classes with hours, like blocks of just nothing to do between those classes, and the lack of structure really was not good for me. Like, I tried to make a planner, but you know, I lost track of that, as too many people with ADHD do. It's hard to keep track of things even if you use a planner, but I'm still trying to get into the hang of that, so pray for me. But again, you know, college is it's just kind of all over the place, you know? Like, you're in charge of your own education. You sign up for the classes based on your degree pathway by yourself. And you know, it's basically on you. You know, if you don't sign up for a class, that's your fault. You don't have your advisor helps you, doesn't really help you pick your classes. They just help you with like degree questions or career questions sometimes. I'm pre-med, so I have a pre-med advisor, but like they don't really talk about schedules, and like it's really up to you at this point. So that wasn't something that I was used to. I was so used to someone telling me what to do, you know? So, and lastly, I have some advice for all of you who do have ADHD, or who think you have ADHD but don't really know yet. The first thing that I'm going to relay onto you is, you're not dumb. It really is just this disorder. You are not dumb at all. It is just your brain's way of thinking that's just different from other people. You know, I used to think that I was so dumb because I couldn't get things that my friends were getting in these AP IB classes, and how everything was just so much harder for me to get, and like I was just so slow at getting material. But honestly, just don't think of it that way. You know, I'd like to think of ADHD as a badge of honor, and not as like this thing that's weighing me down. Because if I think that way, it's going to make me even more depressed, and it's not going to be good for me in the long run. I'd rather use it to my advantage than let it take over my life. And you shouldn't let it, you know. Take it day by day. I say this with the utmost honesty, I'm just like, really, take it day by day. It's a learning process to have coping mechanisms and to learn things in a different way. You know, if you're in therapy, you know, you're not gonna be fixed in a day, you know? It's going to take a lot of time for you to unlearn certain things and to learn good new behaviors and habits. So be patient with yourself. You know, give yourself a self-care day. Sorry. You know, once in a while. Just, you know, have some fun, relax. You know, don't be in your head about, you know, if you can do the work or not, because you can, you know. And another piece of advice: make simple routines that you can do throughout your day that isn't really going to take a lot of effort, but can just make things a little bit easier for you. So, like using apps on your phone, that helps. And I have this specific app called Routinery. I love this app. So you can make little routines for each day or for multiple days. So you can choose things based on nighttime, morning routines. They have set tasks for each category that you can choose and make a routine with that, or they have an option where you can create your own tasks, and they have a lot of these cool, cute stickers that you can attach them to your tasks to make them a little bit, appealing to the eye, and a little bit easier to understand that, okay, toothbrush, that goes with brushing your teeth. It is little ways. It's definitely, I just started using this app, so I haven't really seen some results, but I found this app through a friend, and she says that it has worked wonders for her. So, also not sponsored. This is just something that I feel has helped me, and is going to help me in the long run. I've also tried getting in the hang of like a planner again. It's definitely hard because, it's something that's hard to keep up with, but I'm really trying this semester to just stick with it. Oh, and another tip is to put due dates on an online calendar. I have an app called Canvas that my school uses for courses and coursework. So I'm lucky in that. I'm kind of lucky in that way because it's already set up for me. So all my due dates, all my assignments are already in this online calendar where everything is set up so you know when everything is due. So if you don't have anything like Blackboard or Canvas, I would really, or if your university doesn't use those type of apps, make an online calendar for yourself just for school. Due dates, assignments, projects, anything like that, study group, that's even good to put on your calendar, because that's sometimes you can forget those type of things. So I would really recommend doing that for yourself. Closing out this video, I want to talk about, if you think you have symptoms, if you think you have ADHD, I would urge you to talk to your doctor and see if you can get a test. A lot of people think they have ADHD, but sometimes they don't. But really if you think that you may have it, it's always good to check up with your doctor, your primary care physician, so you can get a test. Or you could do what I did, and I made it so much more difficult for myself, and I got a whole psychologist to do it. Honestly, you really just need, I could have just gone to my pediatrician and got it through there, but I turned 18, so if you're over 18, you're probably gonna need a psychologist to diagnose you. If you're under 18, talk to your doctor. A couple of more things. Don't give up. Even when things seem lost, even when you think you can't do it, even when you think that you are worthless, you're not. Trust me, if I could get out of a depression that almost took my life, not gonna lie, you can too. Nothing is impossible, really. I'm not this perfect person, neither you, you're gonna have your ups and downs, but at the end of the day, what makes life better is getting through those dark moments so you can have those really, really good ones. Those ones that you can talk about and just, it would be, those moments where you feel like you can do anything, I'm sorry, I'm rambling. I don't even know what I'm saying, but my point is, don't be so hard on yourself. And I think that's it for this video. I'm not gonna lie, I'm still getting the hang of this whole YouTube thing. So honestly, my content might not be A1 yet, but please bear with me. I'm still learning, so yeah, so stay tuned for more content. If you like this video, comment, and subscribe, please. I'm not forcing you, but if you think I'm not too cruddy or too much of a bad YouTuber, subscribe. So yeah, just stay tuned for that next video. Thank you. See you next time. Bye.